Well, good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Accu-Stats Video Productions, we'd like to welcome you to the last quarterfinal of the Diamond BigFoot 10-Ball Challenge. If you've been with us all week, you've seen 16 of the world's greatest players be competing here in a single elimination race to 11 for the right to try to vie for a $16,000 first place prize. They each put up $6,000. $16,000 has been added. I'd like to take this opportunity to express on behalf of the 16 players and everybody else here to Greg Sullivan, Chad Charlo, and to Jay Helfert for their contributions both financially and with all the hard work behind the scenes to put all of this together. And then a special thank you to each and every one of you loyal Accu-Stats fans out there and right here at ringside. We really appreciate what you've done. Here's where it stacks up. We've had 3 quarterfinals. We've already got Ralph Souquet and Niels Fyan through to the semifinals. They'll play first tomorrow. Shane Van Boning just won. He will play the winner of this match in the other semifinal tomorrow, and then we will have our final tomorrow evening. So with that being said, without any further ado, let's get underway and introduce our 2 competitors. Our first player is from Tarlac in the Republic of the Philippines. This gentleman's a former World Pool Masters champion. He's a former World 9-Ball champion. He's the defending Derby City Bank Pool champion, and he's a 2-time reigning and defending Derby City all-around world champion. He's sponsored by Bear Q's, Puyat Sports, and Jack Justice Cases. There is not a finer gentleman representing our game than Django. Please welcome Francisco Bustamante. Thank you so very much. And his opponent from Greensboro, North Carolina, now living in New York City. This gentleman's legendary career includes 5 World 9-Ball titles, 5 U.S. Open 9-Ball championships, 6 Player of the Year awards, and he is the defending Turning Stone 9-Ball champion. In 2006, he was given his rightful place among the greats of the game with his induction into the BCA Hall of Fame. He's sponsored by Steinway Billiards, where he's also the house pro. Would you please show your appreciation for one of the all-time greats? It's the Pearl. It's Earl Strickland. Thank you very much, everybody. Your official in charge of this match is Tournament Director Jay Helfert, and it's my honor to send it up to the booth now to the voice of Accu-Stats, Billy Incardona, and his partner, Mark Wilson. Take it away, guys.
It's January, Louisville, Kentucky, world-class pool. This can only be the Derby City Classic. Hello again, pool fans. It's Mark Wilson. Alongside me is our A-team man, Billy Incardona. And Billy, we're all interested in your opening thoughts.
My opening thoughts on this upcoming match, Mark, is that what you're asking?
Whatever you got going on there. We'd all be curious.
Well, I saw Earl Strickland in the later stages of the match when he played Oscar Dominguez. He trailed in that match 8 games to how many? 4, was it?
Yeah.
And then he made a tremendous comeback and ended up winning that match 11 games to either 9 or 10. And he played really spectacular through the later stages of that match. 11-8 it was.
Oscar played outstanding pool. Earl fell behind, but not because of anything he did wrong. And Earl, I think, maybe faced 7-8 times coming to the table with nothing but kicks. Oscar just peppered him. Earl came back, showed another dimension to his game. You know, he can come back with a flurry. He's definitely playing well. Bustamante's won the leg, set the break. This may be the best break in the business right here.
And in Bustamante, we're talking about a very seasoned player and a player that knows how to win, winning many majors. He's already won the World Tournament, the World 9-Ball Tournament. He won Player of the Year last year in this event, the Derby City Classic. Right. So therefore, he's really a force in the pool world. And I really believe this match is going to be a sharply contested match. Both of these players seem to be playing extremely well, Mark.
Yep, Bustamante already in the Billiards Hall of Fame, so no joke about his credentials. Strickland pushes out.
There are only 5 players left in the tournament, by the way. Obviously, Bustamante and Strickland, the 2 players playing in this match. And Shane Van Boning, he won his match against John Morrow, who will be he'll be waiting for the winner of this match.
This is a match that's $4,000 or nothing to take yourself to the semifinals.
excellent kick. I mean, you couldn't have executed that particular kick any better than what he just did. Strickland steps to the table now, Mark. Well, I don't know if he can see the edge of the one or not, but if he can, he's going to kick underneath the one, sending the one possibly toward the 9. Let's see if how accurately I call this one. Yes, he did. Right toward the 9. I don't know if he's hooked him. Yeah, it looks like he has hooked him behind both the 8 and the 3. And he's got a lot of work to do here, Mark.
Both players have made nice kick safeties here, and that with the proper speed. Well played shot. Earl was able to stop the cue ball down there.
Now, he can kick this in the corner. I can see that's a big pocket down there. 2-ball position in front of the opposite side. Nicely struck ball, but not struck well enough.
Had safety implications along with it, so that and there was a possibility of a run-out if he makes it.
Strickland has an option here, Mark. He can go for the cross corner bank, or can position the cue ball behind the green 6. Let's see what he does. He's going for the cross corner bank. A very aggressive player, by the way, understandably so, because his offensive game is probably as good as anyone on the tour today.
And with elite players, you don't want to get into a kicking match. Even if you hook them, you're only maybe 60-40 to come out of that, because these guys are going to hit it in about 20 or 30% of the time. It turns out bad for you.
Matter of fact, the safety option wasn't even a consideration for Strickland.
No.
You know, immediately going for the offensive shot and hitting it pure to the pocket.
And not saying he's not mindful of it. It's just that he knows that the odds that Bustamante, he hooks him and Bustamante kicks and hits it, is not as good as what he can do offensively.
Strickland, a player who really doesn't take much time when he's at the table.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because we are playing with a 40-second shot clock. But that won't come into effect much unless it's a push out or some real odd predicament where they're going to take an intentional foul.
And this is the speed of play that he plays his best playing under. He's a very quick player. He understands the game. He's such a instinctive player. He just goes to the table and knows exactly what's available, how to execute it.
Yeah, and he trains on a 5x10 at the Steinway Billiards as well. That has super tight pockets, so not unfamiliar circumstances for Mr. Strickland.
No, it isn't. I also like to add that he plays with a longer cue. How long is
70 inches, 26 ounces.
And you have to feel that's a benefit. That's an advantage playing on a 5x10 table. If you can control the 70 or 70, whatever, how long it is, if you can control that cue, it's certainly an advantage using it on a 5x10. You can reach a lot more shots than the player can reach with a shorter cue. And he really likes it.
Another thing to look for, he'll have a lot of apparatus on throughout the match. He plays with ankle weights, sometimes double ankle weights, belt weight. Sometimes he has like arm guards on his elbow, like a baseball batter or something. I mean, as he prepares to make the 10-ball, win the first game. Hits the heart of the pocket. Strickland 1, Bustamante 0.
And it's hard to argue with what he does because he's so successful. But then again, he can just go sideways so quickly in a match. I mean,
there's no rhyme or reason in terms of logic. It's the fact that he feels better about it. I mean, if it was really good, a lot of the people. And what's odd is he'll put a big plastic thing over one elbow, and later in the match he'll switch elbows and put it over here. I have no idea what.
Yeah, he's very unpredictable, and we'll possibly see that during this match. His unpredictability, the way he, plays to the crowd, and what he says when he's actually playing the game. He's not able to say anything at any time, and I would like to think it's somewhat adrenaline infused, but it really isn't, because he's liable to say anything for no reason.
He's kind of like he's detached from what he's saying. He'll say things, and you think he's engaging. Oh yeah, he wants to be behind the line. Yesterday, he used to always be renowned for a power break. He was breaking on one foot like he was trying. Now here he's got both feet on the floor, but yesterday he was just, all his weight was on the left foot, and he was barely touching his right toe to the floor. And this is much better. He did not get a good effect with that yesterday, but I don't know what that was about either. But anyway, Danny tried to explain that he was trying to get his weight to go forward. I said, well, he's got all those weight forward. How's it going forward? But anyway. We won't try to analyze all that because we'll be here all night. Strickland pockets the ball and plays safe.
Creating a lot of distance in between the cue ball and the 1, hopefully dropping him back at the 9, which would have snookered Bustamante, but I don't think he's done that. I think Bustamante can see the 1.
Now, will Boosty just kind of go side rail, one ball on the side rail, and try to use maybe the 7 ball? Yes, in this fashion. That's what I'm talking about.
He's fallen a little short of the mark, and he's allowed Strickland at the table to see the 1. It looks like Strickland's going to play a very similar shot than he did the last time he was at the table, positioning the cue ball once again possibly behind the 4-9. The 4 ball is positioned on the foot spot. I look for the cue ball to end up behind the foot spot somewhere where the 4 is, or behind there.
He looked at the bank.
He obviously went for the bank again.
Yeah.
No hesitation once again. Went for the bank. Forget about my safety play. But, of course, what do I know?
Well, this
I'm
is
up there in the
safer if
booth.
you can make it for sure. And he went and looked at it right away. And Earl does not waste time. Once he makes up his mind, he gets down over the ball, and he does not confuse himself with the overthinking shots, that's for sure.
Hit that shot a little roughly, but with the good pocket speed that he hit that shot with, he allowed the pocket to play a little larger than it normally would have.
Right. These racks lay a lot tougher because it's a 5x10 table. So, and these guys make it seem simple as Strickland misses a very makeable 3 ball on the side.
Very surprised to see him miss that shot, Mark. He walks to the table, says a couple words to the gentleman sitting to his left. Now Bustamante at the table. He does have a cross-side bank on the 3. I kind of look for him to go after this shot. He can go 2 cushions and play the 4 in the opposite side pocket that he's going to bank to 3. And let's see how he handles this. Nope, he's going to go for he's
Gorgeous
really in
shot.
no man's land with the cue ball there. He's fallen short of the mark for either side.
Very nice shot, and at the very least, he can play a reasonable safety from here. But then look for Bustamante to shoot.
He's going to get very little movement with the 4 because he wants to keep the 4 under the 9.
I think he's going to shoot. No, I guess not. He's playing safe. Yeah, you're right.
He's going to try. Well, it looks like Strickland can see the edge of the 4 ball. He's quite a distance from the 4. He can see the edge, but really can't do much with it.
Mm-hmm.
So Bustamante, in that regard, certainly has done his job. I don't really see Strickland working his way out of this. Not much available for him. Very difficult shot to play a safety off of. Let's see how well he does with it. Very difficult shot to play a safety off of. The 4 ball is going to come up, hit the 3. The 10 ball is going to come in between the 4 and the cue ball, and he really likes it as he walks back to his chair.
It's a pretty good break.
Yeah, no mumbling there on Strickland's part. He likes that shot.
Yeah, it goes both ways, too.
Bustamante leaning over the table. Take a look at him. Leaning over the table, probably saying to himself, I can't believe this guy here, what he does, huh?
No, you know
Can't
what?
believe this.
That's what I admire about Bustamante and any pro at this stage. They know these things happen, and they're pretty much unaffected. They expect it. It's just a part of the contingency. It's part of the game.
But Bustamante went to the kicking school, the Filipino kicking school. Shouldn't have any problem contacting the 4.
2 cushions. Yep.
He actually played the outside of the 4, hoping to brush it and send the cue ball back down table. It was a near miss, but had he hit the 4, cue ball would have finally ended up down table and left Strickland a very difficult shot, but that's not what happened. He's got ball in hand. All the balls are open nicely. I look for him to win this game as well.
I tell you what, he's got a 40-second shot clock, but from the time he hits this 4 ball, I bet he gets all of them in 40 seconds.
Let's count. You're right. I can't argue with that.
Once he gets going, he didn't waste it. This will be 1 stroke all the way. 1 practice swing and go. Hard to argue with anything that Earl Strickland does. 5 U.S. Opens, 5 World Championships, countless other titles, ran 10 racks for $1 million one time. You remember that, Billy? Is that incredible or what? Even today.
Unbelievable. You have to respect what he's done on the table, that's for sure. I mean, you can't argue with the man's success. If a man has this much success on the table, it's hard to argue with him, regardless of what he does.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean...
No, absolute pool genius. Picks up his pace coming around the table. You know, he looks fit as a fiddle. He says he runs 3 or 4 miles every single day, you know, and you can see. I mean, when you look at him, he's 52 years old.
52 years old. I was going to ask you exactly how old Strickland was. or is, and if he's 52, I mean, he's really playing strong pool, and his shot really hasn't diminished at all.
Not at all.
At age 52, you would think
Right.
when you reach the 50s, your shot making goes down a little bit, but not true with Strickland. He still hits the center of the pocket.
Trains like a beast, and somebody said something about him being blessed with great natural ability, and he said, "Yeah, I got natural ability. I practice 10 hours a day. That's my natural." And his willingness to train really is what separates him.
Mm-hmm. The harder he works, the better he plays.
Right.
And they got a saying: the harder I work, the luckier I get. But
Another guy though that fits that mold, Shane Van Boning.
Oh yeah, he's a student of the game, and he just continually practices and works on his game all the time, and it certainly shows.
I joke around with him that he doesn't need a
performances.
joint in his cue because he's not going to ever take it apart long enough to make any difference anyway. So, nonetheless, Strickland 2, Bustamante 0, Strickland breaking. There it is. There's the break I'm talking about. Look at. See the heel of the foot is up, and he won't hit him hard either. Watch.
No, he played the one on the side there. Because the one went straight in the side, and I'm thinking that's the ball he's playing as well.
I've seen amateurs look like that, raw beginners, but I've never seen a trained professional do that.
Right.
Could you still?
Seems like he's off balance there. If
Right.
you would have just pushed him slightly, he would have probably fallen over.
And when you need super accuracy, the last thing you want is any wobbly, but,
Right.
Anyway, whatever. It works.
Right. If it's not broken, don't try to fix it. The 5 and the 9, and also where the 6 is, that group of balls on the right side of the table, it's going to present some sort of a problem for Strickland here.
Yeah, the 5 ball will be next after this 3 ball. The 7 ball's right there guarding the 5. The 9 ball also blocks it from the corner pocket.
And the angle that he's left himself with on the 3 suggests to me that he's going to have a problem attaining some sort of a shot on the orange 5. So I look for him to do something a little bit special here.
Look at this. Look at this shot. He didn't mean to get down that low. He was hoping to come in between the 5 and 10, but nonetheless, he got down here where he can hit the 5 ball.
He hit it with a stroke that it was probably a little bit unfamiliar with even he himself, but he managed to put the ball down, but really didn't get the position that he needed to get to make the run out simple. Now he has a lot more work in front of him, even if he does pocket the 5 here. Very difficult out from here.
You make a great point because it's one of those in-between strokes that you do not often use, and it takes a highly trained professional to be familiar enough to use them, and even that shot comes up so rare as he rolls that into the side from right off the end rail. That was a nice shot.
Now, he's got a real thin cut on the 4. I don't look for him to bank it. I look for him to cut it in. A very thin cut on the 4. The 6 ball will go on the side. The upper right corner is not available. Let's see what he does here.
Boy, he hit it good.
Nicely struck ball. Beautiful cue ball, Mark. Absolutely perfect.
Oh, if he just doesn't get over the 10, the whole thing, I think he's still out, but he just, right now, he appears to be displaying some displeasure. That's not really what's going on. No, he's relieving some anxiety and taking a moment to collect himself. And people think, oh, he's getting all upset, which he is verbally, but he's not engaged with that. He's just relaxing, is all, because he knows he's going to psych himself up, and he knows he's going to roll this into the side pocket. Oh, I jinxed him.
Well, maybe that's why he was upset.
Well, I know that. I'm just saying, I fully expected him to get that ball.
But when he struck the 4, I thought he hit it perfectly, especially with the speed of the cue ball. Had I seen the 10 ball where it was, and the cue ball actually ending up on top of the 10,
Right.
really little ill-fated in that regard. But I thought he struck that ball as well as you could strike it. Unfortunately, the cue ball ended up on top of the 10.
This is really our first good offensive look from Bustamante in this match.
He's got a little bit of an awkward angle here, Mark. He's going to be real close to the 8. Pretty close to the 8. See, the angle that he had on the 6, I think he should have drawn back toward the rail and then off the rail in that fashion. That would have really increased his chances of coming up with a shot on the 8.
Yeah.
I thought he hit it too softly. He didn't really get the draw that he needed,
Right.
to maximize his effort there.
2 cushion safety. Got the cue ball tucked under the cushion, and looks like the 8 ball is going to be tucked under the cushion.
Yeah, and he would like to cut off the one side of the 8, which I don't know if he did. It's always good to cut off as much as the ball that your opponent's going to be shooting it as possible to limited on what he can do. Strickland, I believe, can see either side of the 8. Very difficult shot to come out with a good safety off of, which he didn't.
That's just missing it by a millimeter is all, but it looks terrible from that distance. When you miss a millimeter, it looks like you don't know what you're doing. It's just that complex of a shot.
Well, that's some of the problems that the 10-foot table gives you, A lot of distance to cover before contacting the ball. And distance is really
Not
a
your
problem
friend.
on a 5x10 when you're rail to rail.
That's right. Bustamante's presented with a great opportunity. He just needs to collect 3 remaining balls here and get his first game on the board.
There are 4 players. Well, there's going to be 4 players left in the tournament after this match. Winner of this match advances to play Van Boning. And the other 2 players left in the tournament are Niels Fan and Ralph Souquet. And I watched Niels Fan play in his last match against the great Efren Reyes. Reyes played awfully well in that match, but for some reason really couldn't keep up with the pace that Fane was playing because he refused to make any mistakes in that match.
Yeah,
I
that's
really like the way he's playing, Niels Fane.
I agree. Bustamante with the bridge. He didn't want to go here. He tried to go left-handed. It's just an awkward spot.
And he looks real uncomfortable. And he needed the whole pocket there, by the way. He didn't hit that as cleanly as he should have. He knows it, but he's really not that adept with the bridge.
No.
And you know that because you've watched this guy play for many, many years. If given a choice, he would rather shoot a shot behind his back. But sometimes on a 5x10, you can't do that.
Not available. Yep. Well, Bustamante won. We'll get a good look at Bustamante's break.
And actually, the two players we're watching playing here have the 2 biggest breaks in pool today. If they want to break it with velocity, I'm talking about with power. But I don't think that's what they're doing in this particular match.
Well,
At least
Boosty
Strickland
is.
hasn't.
Yeah, Boosty will. He always breaks like that, and it'd be foolish to give that up. That's the one thing he excels at. Strickland, you never know what he's going to do on the break. I mean, he's got all kinds of things going on. I remember the day, boy, he just used to tag that head ball so square and make 3 balls and run out and then run out again, and then you'd have to gunfight, and if he could beat you there, then he'd run out another 2 racks on you.
Right. That's back in the day when Strickland was regarded as the most explosive player in the game. He would string racks all the time because of his break, the power he broke them with, and he controlled the cue ball quite well as well. Bustamante, the same thing. They were cut from the same bolt of cloth in the breaking area. Both of them have very, very, very strong breaks.
As we have a moment while Bustamante racks, I want to send a big shout out to some of my college billiards player at Lindenwood University, Chris Salvo, Dan Otto, the rest of the guys, Sharik, Steven. These are all cool guys. They're watching in right now, Billy, and I love them like brother or sons and daughters. Really, to tell you the truth.
That's pretty generous of you.
No, they're really cool kids. They're great people. Now, Bustamante's going to ask Helfert to rack. Jay Helfert is, or else at least rough up the cloth with the rag.
Yeah, he's asking to smooth out that breaking area. Possibly there might be some chalk or something on the table that's precluding him from racking the balls, getting himself a nice tight rack.
Well, these guys hit the rack so hard that it dents the cloth pretty early on. This cloth's only a couple days old, and it's already been pelted. It's kind of like a green in a pro golf tour. It will just absolutely have dimples all over it because these guys come in high and hot and dent the green all up, and that's the same thing in the rack area. Really, the rack area probably should be with a microfiber cloth wiped down with a damp rag every night, and that helps to pull that back up a little bit and salvage it for another couple days. Bustamante, like Billy said, most powerful break in the game. I'm not saying he's going to pull it out, but he has broke 32 miles per hour.
And on the radar gun, 32 miles an hour is in your top 2% of breakers in the world.
Well, yeah, the only other person back then was David Howard.
That's the cue ball. Looked like it was going toward the side, and it got kissed away there.
He hit it hard, but he didn't hit it square, but he's got so much power. A couple balls flew in. It's still better than the average pro's break, even when he mishits it.
I do believe he has room to pocket the 1 in the side. I don't believe the 2 ball was come up table far enough to preclude him from pocketing the 1 on the side. Let's see, it's pretty close though. But controlling the 2 ball off this shot may be a little bit of a problem. He'll go across table. The cue ball should end up where it is now. Nope, he didn't even contact the 2. I thought he was going to contact the 2 after pocketing the 1, but he didn't even touch the 2.
Right, our angle is nowhere near as good as the shooter's angle.
There's one problematic area on the table of concern, and that is the 6 and the 8, or is it the...
Yeah, 6 and the 8 together.
The 6 and the 8. Those are the 2 balls to the right of the foot spot. As you can see, the 6 is behind the 8, and it's creating a problem for pocketing the 6 in the upper right-hand corner pocket. So Bustamante is going to have to play pinpoint position if he opts to pocket it in that pocket. But there are a couple other pockets available, but he still has a lot of work to do to get to a good position for that ball.
That's right. If he gets the proper angle in the 5, he might be able to attack the 6 ball with the cue ball, and he can still play it in the same pocket he intends to play the 3 ball in later on.
It looks like he's going to just follow the 2 ball up for a foot or so and cut the 3 to his right. No, he's doing this. Maybe the 2 doesn't even have a pocket.
He's back cutting it. What a shot this is.
Yeah, the 2 didn't even have a pocket to his right. I thought it had an open pocket. But obviously I was wrong. He opted to go to the lower left. Very difficult shot, by the way. And failed to pocket the ball. Strickland at the table. Now he has to try to figure out how he's going to attack the problem 6-8. And
I'm not
it's
sure
not going
if
to be an easy one.
Yeah, he probably has to go rail first because he's ducking down right now. So it must be very close. If he has to go rail first, it's doable, but it's also a little bit tricky.
Yeah, this route is fraught with peril here. Anything's liable to happen here. Now, he looks like he may have opened it up a little bit more. Enough, I don't know if he did or not. The angle that he's left himself with on the 3, the cue ball will then go around the 7 and then toward the 9-8. This is going to be very tricky here. He's got to have good speed, and I think he's bypassed his mark, which he's done. Now getting position on the 6 becomes even more problematic.
He chose that speed to aid him in accuracy for pocketing the ball, because if he just rolled it, he felt like maybe he was going to dog it a little bit. Some of these guys like to hit him with just a little bit more of an accelerating cue through the cue ball.
In a lot of cases, it's a fair trade-off, but not this time because he bypassed his mark, and he's left himself without a market here to play position. Oh, that ball skidded on him, it looked like. It looked like that ball skidded just a little bit. Maybe not, but to me it
No,
did.
it did. Yeah, I agree. But it still hit the heart of the pocket, so maybe we're mistaken about that. But, boy, this is a tricky shot here.
I believe the corner pocket's still available here at the lower left-hand corner. Let's see how well he hits this. No, it wasn't available. I don't know. He's left Bustamante a long, straight-on shot on the 4. I mean, on the 6.
And the 7's right down there, so the difficulty of this shot is diminished somewhat because position is not too difficult.
But a lot of distance here.
This will be a pretty shot, too. Watch this.
This is a 5x10 table. This shot carries a lot of distance.
Boosty did not even threaten the pocket. There was a mechanical breakdown. If it rattled, then we say, hey, maybe he was just a little off, but that was way off. And I'm certainly not discounting Bustamante's skills. I'm just saying something radically went wrong with that shot.
And how old is Bustamante, Mark?
Caught me. I think he's 44.
44? Well, then he should still have pretty good eyes at 44 years old.
Yeah, I don't think it was his vision there. I think it was his stroke delivery.
Well, when you get up there in age, those long shots become so much more difficult. And when you're playing on a 5x10 and you have a little problem sighting the ball, no, you have major problems. He missed that ball.
Yeah, he overcut it.
And it looks like he may have left Bustamante a shot. I believe he has. Now, this shot, Bustamante can't hit the right side of the cue ball. He would like to favor that side of the cue ball on this shot, but he can't do it because of the position of the 8. Now he's going to have to hit this shot very cleanly, utilizing the left side of the cue ball to cut this ball in, and this shot must be hit cleanly. And cleanly, he did hit it. What did they say? He wiped his feet before it fell.
Yeah.
That certainly wiped
Good
his
shot.
feet before it fell, and kind of like didn't want to fall into the pocket, but it did.
Billy, we're informed that I was wrong. Boostie's 49. Not that it matters.
You're not wrong that often, though.
Well, you asked me a question I wasn't sure of the answer, and I didn't want to look stupid, so I just told you a lie.
Well, when you said 44, I had my doubts, but I didn't want to argue with you because of
The veracity of my statement.
because you just seem like you know what you're talking about, Captain.
Nice two-cushion position here. Okay, Bustamante gets back in this match, ties it up, 2 games apiece. Yeah, sometimes we go pink. Yeah.
We were referring to the
telestrator once in a while will...
all the balls look
kinda,
pink and white and stuff like that. I don't know.
It's kind of a, I don't know, cancer awareness, breast cancer awareness deal we got going on
is
here.
that what it is?
No. Yeah. Yeah, we can ignore the colors. It still works, he says. So.
And who
It's
is
all
he?
good.
Who is he?
He would be our esteemed provider of all this. Mr. Accu-Stat, Pat Fleming. Bustamante's good fun to be around, too, and he's always loose, laughing, having a good old time.
Yes, he is.
And a fearless shot maker, you know, a very strong competitor. Not too many people latch on to Bustamante and like it.
Oh, no. He's got the 8 in the side. He got a little kiss off the 4.
Look at the ball action he gets, and he really didn't hit it as good break that time either. I'm not saying he didn't use his power, but I'm just saying he missed it just a little bit. Still plenty.
Well, he can pocket the 1 in the upper right-hand corner. But what's going to happen with the 2? The 2 ball's positioned adjacent to the 5 near the foot spot. I don't know if it can go in the side pocket. I don't think it can. If it doesn't go in the side pocket, I don't think he's going to run out. But, of course, he'll still have control of the table. Let's see how well he does with this opening shot and how he controls this particular rack here.
Boy, that's a nice shot. Trying to get it to 2 ball, back up into his right, the far corner pocket. I don't think he found that.
If it does have a pocket, which I think it does,
straight in the corner.
Okay, then he's positioned the cue ball quite nicely for that shot.
Well, he's not wasting any time, so it clearly goes. Yep. And you will notice at home a couple different things. Bustamante's tip seldom gets closer to the cue ball than about 3 inches, except on the break. It's a strange way. You will see no other pro that plays from that far away from the cue ball because it distorts timing.
Right.
And when you watch Strickland's hands, look for this. He'll have tape at various fingers at various points in the match. He'll have white tape, and he'll wrap them or re-wrap them in the chair.
He's got an awkward angle on the 3. He's pretty stiff on the 3, and I don't believe he has the angle to drop for the 4, which is positioned at the other end, which is positioned near the foot rail. So he's going to probably have to settle for a tough shot and draw the cue ball by the side. That's what he's done.
Yeah.
Now, this shot carries somewhat natural position, I do believe. It's a little bit of a spin. Left-hand English should send the cue ball short of the side to the rail, to the long rail, short of the side. He has to hit this, softly but accurately. And it's not an easy shot.
Another one of those in-between strokes that you're not as familiar with because you don't play them as often.
Notice the spin. Cue ball short of the side. Nicely struck ball. Beautifully positioned as well.
Makes me want to applaud. That was one of those super difficult shots that looks simple. It looks like the cue ball naturally wants to go there, but it doesn't. He had to distort it there.
Yeah, he definitely has all the shots, and he just handles that cue ball so beautifully. I love the way he strokes the ball. Even though he's got that rather lengthy bridge, he seems to hit the cue ball so accurately.
All Filipinos have a long bridge. You will never see one that doesn't because the tables are so slow. You just have to ramp up the maximum power almost every shot. When they come here and play on Simonis like this is, real slick, polished balls, it's almost like sleeping on satin compared to burlap.
He's opting to elevate here. He's going to diminish the accuracy of the shot somewhat, but the pocket took it.
And close range, he chose to do that, and now fell perfectly on the 7. The 9 and the 10 is all that's left.
I myself had, if I were shooting that shot that he just shot with the elevation, I would have leveled off and found another pocket for the 7. But of course, he said that, all I got to do is pocket this ball and I'll be in perfect line, sacrificing a little bit of accuracy because he knows he's going to hit it much better than me, which he did.
Well, Bustamante have found his first break and run out here and now takes the lead in the match 3-2.
Yeah, Strickland went ahead. It was a 2-0, and then Bustamante went ahead and went ahead 3-2 by winning the next 3 consecutive games. So he's got the momentum on his side, and he's going to be breaking the balls in game number 6 as well.
Boy, this tournament is just full of great competitive matches. 16 players, $1,000 entry fee, a very elite, prestigious field, played on the top-of-the-line equipment.
No, I did something here. I made a mistake here, Pat. I think I did something, and the volume seems to be quite loud. What did I do here?
You're on my headset here. You're on the second one there.
No, which,
here, I think that's you right there.
I
Technical
know
difficulties
I did
here.
something else here, but that's okay. It's just breaking my eardrum. How about yours?
A little bit louder, but it's good. All right, here's Bustamante's break. I'd like to hit him just a little squarer than he has so far. It was better. Still dry, though. Still dry. Okay, Strickland comes to the table. Not much of a shot, it doesn't look like.
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm talking to myself because I can't get this volume down.
Well, then I'll talk to myself. Can Strickland draw straight back for safe?
No, he's probably going to go around the 9 here.
No, he could play it off the 3. I didn't think it was thin enough. Okay, great shot. Wasn't as bad as I thought. Wasn't an easy shot. He did make it look easy, but it was a makeable shot from here. It did not look like he could.
Very good, Pat. Pat came to my rescue again. He seems to do that often. He comes to my rescue. Thank you, Pat.
Yep. Nice shot there. Strickland's disappointed he's elevated over the 6 ball, however.
And last time he positioned the cue ball over a ball, he didn't do well, did he?
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
And he had that same discourse with the audience right before he missed. Tough shot here. Swish. Very nice.
Now, the 5 ball is positioned underneath the 6 ball on the other end of the table beside the 8. So, therefore, he's going to have to be pretty accurate with his position here because there's a lot of interfering balls in between the 5 and the cue ball here.
Yeah, here on the overhead, you can see that's pretty straight. And he may have to deal with that 9 ball and the cue ball over there on the side. Because he really needs to come all the way. Oh, he's going to draw back. Okay. Does he have it? Yeah. Good shot. Good decision.
Still a little tricky here, Mark, because he's relatively straight on the 5. The 8 ball was to his left. He can't swing around. He has to go more forward, I think. He would like to go forward and around the 8, but I don't know if he can do that. So, that shot is a very difficult shot as well. So I'm kind of curious to see how he handles this.
Goes right into the 8.
He goes off of the 8,
purposefully.
opens up the pocket. Notice the cue ball now positioned at the other end of the table, really creating a lot more distance, I thought, than what he wanted. And now this shot becomes extremely difficult.
Known for great shot making.
Yep, and he put it in the center of the pocket. Now he's left himself another tester here on the 7. Looks like if he cuts it in the side, he has to be concerned with the cue ball. It's going to be tracking right toward that corner.
Well, not only that, but it's going to come around very hot, so he'll have to play a thin cut on the 8 from center of the table if he plays it in the side. Yep, 3 cushions. Good shot.
And once again, he's not really ideally positioned for the 8 to drop nicely for the 9.
Right.
the 9-ball position on the same side of the table as the 8 after contacting the 8 here. And I think he's going to be going away from the 9 unless he applies inside English. And if he does that, this shot is going to play very difficult.
Is this 3 cushions around, or is he going to try to spin it?
I think you're going 3 cushions here. 1, 2, 3 is going to be very close. He's going to be close here. Well, he does have some sort of a shot. It looks like
great shot, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he made a good shot. And even though he's got a rather thin cut on the 9, it's certainly a shot that he can handle.
I think he purposely played 4 cushions for this angle, too, based on the way he cued the ball because it was a little bit low. Look at that nice hit. Earl points to the rail because he didn't want it stuck on the rail. Good job there.
Yeah,
What's going on? Uh-oh, somebody's distracted him in the audience. This would tie the matchup. And does. 3 games apiece. He looks into the crowd. Well, he's very temperamental.
to say the least.
Yeah. Or high-strung, which maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah, there were a lot of questionable shots that he very quickly answered the question to in that particular rack, particularly the last 3 or 4 shots of that rack. And really added a lot of suspense, extra suspense to that rack, which everybody likes, kind of like.
Oh, by far the most exciting player on the American Tour, Earl Strickland. I mean, even still he sells tickets. One time I was at the trade show and he showed some dramatic jump shots and hit them so pure. Everybody's looking on. And he held up his hand with his little finger up and he says, "You see this? There is more talent in this here little finger than the rest of these guys got in their whole body." But it was true. You know, I mean, how can you argue? I mean, he was shooting shots nobody else would even dream of trying in public. I'll never forget that. And he said it with total conviction. You can't make that up. You know, I mean, I'd be way too self-conscious for anything like that. Put it out there.
Yeah, he's not a really timid person, and he'll say what's on his mind. And sometimes it's not appropriate, but it's funny as hell.
Yeah. Just a phenomenal talent. I like that. Good judicious safety there rather than try to be too aggressive, which sometimes in his youth he used to err on the too wild side. He's gained some maturity over the years in terms of his shot selection, Billy, and I know you're aware of it because you saw him from day one, too.
Bustamante is going to draw kick this ball here with a little speed.
Inside English.
And he's not going to get away with it. Strickland's now going to step to the table with a shot on the 1. 3-ball positioned behind the 8.
I don't know if he can hit the edge of the 1, maybe.
You don't think he can pocket it?
No, I can kind of tell by Earl's body language he's dissatisfied with the outcome of that shot.
But keep in mind now, if he can't, well, he's looking to kick. Yeah, I see you're right. I thought that he could see maybe a little bit of the 1, but obviously he can't, and especially now we can just he can jump over the 9. You know, he's quite adept at jumping over balls. He can either jump over the 9 or kick. Like, well, he's going to kick and draw it like Bustamante did. No, he's going to kick and
kick it in.
Actually, kick it in, which was really a nice shot.
On a 5x10 with tight pockets.
But really hasn't gotten rewarded for his effort.
No. Great effort. You can jump in this tournament. You just have to use either your playing cue or break cue as configured. You cannot use a jump cue. Okay, Earl giving a little speech there. It's more of a relaxer than it is anything that's meaningful.
Well, he's going to have to kick this shot with speed, which he didn't, and that he didn't hit it.
It really wasn't a good try either, because he didn't.
It looked like he didn't really take his time or anything with
one
that
stroked
shot.
it and missed it by more than a ball and a half's width. So
and that's the type of a kick that you're going to have to feel. You just have to, you have to give it some respect and try to feel it. He just got down there and just threw a stick at it, which
that was very amateurish.
Disgusting attempt.
Yeah. It was not a professional attempt.
No. He was quite unhappy with the results of the shot that he ended up with, because he did make a nice shot when he kicked in the...
But much like I was saying earlier with Bustamante, we're all aware this happens. It's been happening all our life. I mean, it's not like a miracle that happened.
Right. It's not that unusual to see something like that happen.
Right. And it doesn't matter. You can continue giving speeches about it after the fact, but nonetheless, it's going to continue.
And you're not the most ill-fated player in the world,
Probably not.
in spite of what you may think. Grady Matthews was. Poor Grady. He was a great one.
He sure was. He was about the most loquacious of our generation.
Game number 7, Bustamante at the table. Looking to take a 1-game lead here, Mark. 4-3 if he puts down the 10.
And Earl might not have made a good hit on it, but he really hates to give up games like this where he could have made a better attempt. You know, you just can't give up fractions of percentages like that. Bustamante will tax you, and then now you got to sweat Bustamante breaking here with the lead that he doesn't really tax you.
You know, and that's his shortcoming. You know, he does things like that, and it costs him matches and possibly even tournaments at times. And you would think that he should have learned by now that you know that's probably kind of costly.
I kind of look at him as a temperamental genius, and I can never figure it out. But just say his talent in your head, there'd be nobody that could ever beat him, ever. No way. But maybe if he had your head, he couldn't have that talent. You know what I mean? So exactly. I could never figure that out.
Exactly. You know, I mean, we can't figure that out because we are we and he is he.
Right.
And we don't know how he thinks and what motivates him and what inspires him and what makes, you know, his clock tick, whatever.
Clearly, we don't know that. Okay, Bustamante to break. He's getting limbered up now. This is where it gets a little scary, him breaking.
The balls aren't really opening up as well as you would think they should.
But his break, he has missed the head ball every time. He hasn't really tagged his good one because when he really hits it, it just sifts right back, and those balls really come rushing back. But with his power, he still forces 1 in the hole. It's just not 3 is the difference.
Okay, let's take a look at the 2-10. Maybe he should walk down he's looking at the 2-10 combination. He can pocket the 1. He's going to brush the 7 ball after pocketing the 1. But he's going to have enough forward turn on the cue ball to put him in line possibly for that combination.
The cue ball is going to hit the 7 ball, so that makes it treacherous to figure out the speed because how the 1 enters the pocket changes the speed dramatically based on how heavy you collide with that 7 ball.
I think he's going to end up in a pretty good line for that combination if it's available. If it's available. Well, he missed the... He missed pocketing the 1. Did he? No, he pocketed the 1.
No, he pocketed it. And, there's just that treacherous coming off that 7 ball. Boy, it's hard to figure.
Yeah, he went into the 5, and that's where he made his mistake or where he erred. He went into the 5, and then he did end up with the combination. And once again, he's using the bridge.
Look at the tip. It's a mile away from the cue ball.
And he doesn't use that bridge very well.
But he
got pretty good results that time.
So after Earl's error in the last game, he comes back a game behind and kicking. And that's how this can quickly snowball if Bustamante picks up a shot. If something doesn't happen favorable for Strickland, that previous lackadaisical attempt on the kick can quickly turn into 2 or 3 games.
Bustamante can't hit the right side of the 2, but he doesn't need to hit the right side. As long as he can hit the left side of the 2, then he can probably position the cue ball possibly behind the 9. You go 2 cushions with the cue ball maybe, and hopefully drop behind the 9 here.
I certainly look for that to be the case.
He's got to hit it a little harder, I believe, than that. And he's fallen a little short of the mark, and he's allowed Strickland to back kick the 2. Had he been behind the 9, he couldn't have done that. But it's difficult to do stuff like that. Matter of fact, he can even see the 2. Look, he could see the 2. He's not getting enough movement with the cue ball, and now Bustamante's going to step to the table with the ability to strike the 2 as well.
Interesting tactical part of the game right here.
This is a pretty tricky safety here. He's got to be very careful and make the right decision. There's all the indecision out there. He really doesn't know what's available, if anything. I don't think much is available here, you know.
No, the cue ball's going to come off the end rail, so.
He wants to spin around the... that was a great hit, by the way. He hit it with the speed that he had to get behind the 5 and the 6, or he would have sold out. And it's awfully difficult to pull the trigger on shots like that because you're putting all your eggs in that basket. In other words, can you control the cue ball behind those two balls? It's not easy, but he certainly did it.
Yeah, the cue ball, there's movement on both balls, and that's treacherous to control. And the cue ball still had to travel 4 feet.
And it looks like Bustamante's going to get rewarded for that shot. And now he's got a shot on the 2 on the side, the 3-ball positioned near center table.
Yeah, I think he can cut the 2 on the side and not have to deal with any of these balls. I think it naturally goes around them.
But he may run into the 6 here. He's able to miss that, coming around table for the 3 on the side.
Gorgeous
the 4 in the upper
position.
corner is available.
Gorgeous position there.
Very nicely struck. He'll just probably draw back just a couple inches and then play 2 cushions toward the 5, or unless he draws back to the rail.
Well, I look for him to draw 1 cushion out of here. Back to the side rail, back to the middle. He was able to 2 cushion. Okay.
Yeah, 2 cushions toward the 5. That shot plays natural, and he keeps himself in line with that shot, and he gets closer to the ball as well. And that's always a plus when you're playing on a large table like this one, the 5x10.
Yeah. Plus, his speed's not as critical because he's coming into his position rather than across his position.
No, he's really following. No, I got the 4. I got the 6 and the 7 mixed up again, like I usually do. He's shooting the 6 now. The 7 is to the left of the cue ball. He didn't come back at all there. That was certainly surprising.
Yeah.
Now it's difficult to even go for the bank here because you've got to really put in he's got to really draw the cue ball out of that lower right-hand corner and then 2 cushions down table for position for the 9. This is a shot I certainly know he has in his bag, but certainly not one that I would like to shoot. But he does have an option to play safe as well. Let's see which shot he chooses. Does he go after the aggressive shot, going cross-side, withdrawing the cue ball, or does he play a safety?
No, he's banking. He's thinking.
Yeah, he's a little off angle with that. I don't even know if he can get a pure draw with this shot because he got to maybe cut it too much.
Yeah, it'd take extreme low right, and he'd have to warp the cue ball, which he has the power to do that. But sometimes guys like him take this shot on when they're a little frustrated about a previous bad shot. But what can happen is you can make 1 bad shot and then compound it with yet another.
He's going for it. It's going to be a beautiful shot if he's executed well. Whoa! Watch that cue ball. Watch the cue ball. Watch that cue ball. I think he's going to be okay, Mark. Nicely executed shot. And he put one heck of a stroke on that shot, didn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe we can go back later on and take a look at that shot one more time because that was a tremendous stroke he put on that particular shot.
Right. Well, the object ball thundered into the pocket, and the cue ball just kept spinning and coming, and absolutely gorgeous on a 5x10 with tight pockets. So while Bustamante had to shoot his way out of that rack after a position error, it didn't cost him.
In that game, and I don't mean to interrupt you, and I do apologize, but I want to bring this point up.
Do it.
That particular game was a big game for Bustamante because if you remember, Strickland is unraveling right now a little bit. Mm-hmm. So therefore, by giving that game back to Strickland, you may have given a little bit of energy.
Right.
You really can't afford to do that because he's starting to unravel a little bit. He just haphazardly kicked at that ball and missed it.
And now 2 games.
Right. And now Bustamante is up by 2 games, and he really needs to put him away right. He can put him away right here.
No, we could get a knockout
Let's take another
blow.
look at that bank shot because really, what a tremendous stroke he put on it.
Boom.
Watch this cue ball. Look at it. That just was a beautifully executed shot, which enabled him to go on to win that particular game and take a 2-game lead in the match. big game for Bustamante, 5-3, race to 11.
There's the good break, Billy.
Yeah, he
You
put
see
a
it?
lot. Yeah,
You
he
see what I
got
mean?
paid,
That was
and
that good square.
and he got paid off for it too.
Yep, you're going to be okay. You at least have a shot in the corner if he doesn't have the side.
I don't know if he doesn't have the side, the corner. I don't know what he has in the corner either, but he does have a 1-4 combination.
No, I think he's got it straight in the corner, and I look for him to play it there. He can stun the cue ball back out underneath the 4. Maybe even use the 4 to partially defend it should he miss. Yeah, miss is not even in his repertoire.
3-ball position at the other end of the table, but with the angle that he's left himself with on the 2, seems like it's pretty ideal to drop nicely for the 3.
Right.
Nicely positioned ball here.
Now, he wants an angle on the 3 as well. He certainly doesn't want to get trapped on the end rail down
No, he
there.
doesn't want to get straight in, so he's falling short of the end rail.
Deliberately played this way.
Exactly. The 4-ball position near the side, but he's definitely going to play shaped for the corner here because of the 5-ball pretty much near the foot spot. So if he ends up with a shot on the 4 in the corner, all he'll need to do is stop the ball there where the 4 is for a position for the 5, and he'll have a nice angle to get back up table for the 7.
Yep. That was well played. He didn't try to get too close. He kind of took what the table would give him.
Yeah, but he's fallen a little bit too far to the inside of the 4 because he really wanted to end up where the 4 is for the 5. Now he's got to do something a little bit different here. So he played the outside of the pocket. He cheated the pocket so he can keep the angle that he needed to get back up table for the 7.
Right. A beautiful stroke. And it wasn't just accuracy. He had to put a lot of backspin on there to kill it, so it arced just a little bit after impact.
And I keep saying the wrong ball. No, it's the 6, not the 7. It's going to take me probably 4 or 5 more tournaments to get used to the color of the balls here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a slow learner, by the way.
It's not that. It's just so unorthodox for us that have looked at the standard colors for so long. Anyway, this will be the 7, 9, and 10 remaining.
He'll go 1 rail. He doesn't want to go 2 in a round. I think 1 rail's better. He's going around. I kind of like going 1 rail on this shot. He's going 2. But I think that's really negligible which way you go on that particular shot.
Right. One thing, he's in good form, got some momentum going. So after a little bit of a lackadaisical kick, Bustamante's going to come back, clip off 3 games, this being his second break and run out of the match, picking up momentum. This is where it gets scary, and like Billy said, this is where he can put him away.
This is where he can put him away.
Yeah.
And you really want to put him away after a blunder like he did by just throwing his stick, Strickland that is, throwing his stick at that kick, which he didn't even come close of hitting. And it's going to really cost him, and I think it's going to cost him a great deal.
Yeah, and it's the psychological aspect of it that you know you didn't really put your heart in it. Okay, here's our stats. Bustamante 873, Strickland a very respectable 827.
Strickland was playing, pretty good. He got over top of a ball a couple times, which kind of like annoyed him or upset him. But still, that's just the nature of what we do. We're going to find ourselves facing adversity at times when we feel that we shouldn't. But that's just the way the game's played.
Yep.
And then it seems to upset Strickland, and he does something that's ridiculous, and now it cost him.
Yeah, kind of a drama queen on that. He was all upset, and he should have just played the shot, but nonetheless. Uh-oh, another good break. Broke dry. Strickland comes to the table with that cross-corner bank that he's whistled in a couple times so far.
Now he's going to have to really get it together right here. He trails by 3 games in the match, and he really can't afford to fall any further behind.
Boy, drained it again. That's 3 for 3 on that shot, and that's an off-angle cross-corner, too.
And I'd say it's absolutely imperative that he gets out this rack mark.
Okay, good hit there, using the 10 ball to slow the progress of the cue ball down.
5-ball sandwiched in between the 6 and the 8, so he's going to have to play a good angle on the 4 to drop nicely for the 5, considering that it's positioned in between the 6 and the 8.
Should something happen that Strickland failed to get out here, I predict that his tip will end up banging the slate at the end. I'm not saying he's going to break his cue, but he will display his displeasure in that fashion.
Well, I don't want to see him miss just to see if you're right.
Oh, I don't either. I'm just saying this is always at this juncture that I always see him do it. He's in a good spot here now.
There I go again. I said I had to play shape for the. Yeah, well, that's right. For the 5, now the 6 is next. That's right. The awkward or the odd colored ball.
Stop shot.
That looks yellow on the monitor, but yet green on the table.
Lime green, we might add. The teal green one. I call it the robin's egg. This will be the 7 ball on the side, the 8. Next to the 7.
Now, on the monitor for the people at home, does the 6 ball look teal, look yellow, or what?
Looks yellow, yeah, very yellow. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's not you.
So this is just not on our monitor, it's on all monitors.
Oh, no, I don't know about that. I just mean on this overhead is all I'm talking about. I don't know about the others because I'm always up here, so I never watched it that way. This is the first time I've ever used these Cyclop balls, which must be good balls, or the players would be complaining, and by virtue of the fact they're not complaining, we know that it's a high-quality ball.
Well, I've watched enough matches now to give you a pretty good determination of the playability of the balls as opposed to the azimuth ball. I feel that these balls play as well as the azimuth ball. Very, very few balls skid. Mm-hmm. I hear from some people that know technically more about the balls than I do that the ball is a harder ball than the azimuth ball, and it's made a little bit differently, but it's a good hard ball, so therefore doesn't pick up as much,
right?
Debris, whatever, off the table. So it's a very well playing ball. It's a very good playing ball.
Well, Strickland, as you said, it was a must-win rack for him to kind of psychologically get back into this, and now he trails 5 games to 6 with the break. So,
yeah, had he not won that rack, and had he made another error and blundered or whatever, and not got out that rack, I think that he would have. I hate to say that, but I think he would have thrown the towel in for some reason. But
there it is, the 1-foot break, though. Yeah, he's been known to unravel a little bit when things go wrong.
No such luck. He's not going to pocket anything on the break.
Yeah, he pocketed the 1.
He did? Okay, he pocketed the 1. 2 ball is positioned in the pocket. Can he twirl it around that 10?
I don't know, but he's already lamented it to the audience. He's going to mass say this will be a pretty shot.
Well, not enough. Interesting position here. If you notice, the 4 ball, I don't believe can be pocketed in just about any pocket. Do you run the risk of going into him now? I think you have to. I think you got to bump the 4 out here because the 3's right there. I think you have to bump the 4 on the side just enough to just move it about an inch or so.
Looks like the way he set it up here, he's going to do that. Oh, nice shot, huh?
Yeah, and he played it exactly the way it turned out. He hit the outside of the 4 ball, guaranteeing that he'll run free of the 4,
right,
away from the 4.
Yeah, the Filipinos are all good on those little type of things.
He's pretty straight on the 4 here, so he's going to have to pound this or do something
on the 3 here.
Different. Yeah. Well, he didn't. He's going to cut it in. He's going to probably hit this for maybe an inside ball and swing 2 cushions, play the cue ball in the center of the table for position for the 5.
Great call.
Little inside. No, he went with the outside. I myself would have went with an inside ball.
No, he did too. He whiskered the 7 ball and then he re-hit it again after off the end rail. That's what happened.
No,
he didn't
went with an
anticipate
outside ball. Had he went with the inside ball, then he would have went away from it. He went back to the other rail, but he didn't. We'll go back and take a look at that shot later on.
I would like to see it, yeah.
Because I think when you and I have our first confrontation
real quarrel, yeah. This could be the end of this marriage right here.
Don't say that. I so enjoy being up here with you. Don't fire me.
Hey, I got to tell you something. You broke me in back in 1985. Right when we first started doing commentary for Accu-Stats,
Yeah.
remember they used to just have silent
Yeah,
movies.
yeah, matter of fact, you're right.
Yeah, silent movies before that. But now, here we are, all these years later, still together.
My God.
Hey, it's all cool.
All right. Love you. Okay. And math of this rack is over, Pat. Let's take another look at that particular shot. I think he should have used left-hand English after contacting the 5. He should have went to the other reel. He used, I think, right-hand English, and Mark doesn't think so.
I think he used left. And I think he clipped it accidentally going by.
Well, of course he clipped it. Of course he had.
Well, I guess, yeah.
I'm done arguing with you. Let's go back to our old friendly selves.
Anyway, Strickland's played a nice safety here and got the 5 ball out in the middle of the table, which is a smaller target. I guess this is just kicking with power here because there's really nothing much to play.
And I think he's going to end up in no, he's not. I thought he was going to end up in good shape here.
Uh-oh.
Did he end up? I think he did. Let's take a real good look at this from behind the 5. Can we do that? A little bit. I don't know. Can he pocket this ball?
No, you can just look at his body language and see he's
Okay,
defeated.
Strickland cannot pocket this ball, so therefore Bustamante did work it out well for himself there. He cannot pocket this ball.
Rail first, he can. I guess he made the shot earlier, but
Wow.
boy. Hit it good? Earl, he's walking away kind of exclaiming like if it had been Bustamante, it would have been behind the 9, but because it was him.
Simple shot. Really didn't do anything
Right.
that he didn't need to do. He just needed to send the 5 ball on the other side of the table and put him behind the 9.
And effective shot. Look at this nice shot returning. Strickland took a chance to get underneath the 8 with that great hit, and the appreciative audience recognizes it.
Nice
Round of
pull
applause.
shot.
It
Nice
was.
pull shot.
Yeah, very nice.
If he can hit the outside or the edge of the 5, then possibly he can. No, he's going to be going toward that 7. So let's see what happens here. He'll be going toward the 7 and the 4 here. Let's see what happens.
Smart play.
Well, he went right through the center of the 4 and the 7 and the 6. I mean, to thread the needle and play that field goal position through the 6 and the 7. That's what he said. He said, say what you want. That's pretty lucky.
Mm-hmm.
I think that time he was right.
Well, he overcut it, so we know the cue ball wouldn't have gone there if he hit it where he intended, so he was fortunate. And Earl's right, but we also know that's what happens in these pool matches.
And he's left Bustamante. Has he let them a shot here?
Yep. Yeah, this is the one that will unravel Earl pretty good if Boosty gets out, if he capitalizes on this good fortune. That's his job, too, by the way. It's not good fortune unless he does capitalize on it.
I don't even know if it goes.
I think so. I think Boosty's queuing up as if it does. Nope. Yeah, you were right. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Boosty.
Boosty said, lucky again. Like Reyes. You played good. Lucky. I got lucky.
Yeah.
You're lucky.
Boosty knows that Earl's on the edge of unraveling a bit, and so boy, I got lucky again.
Yeah, he's going to try to escalate that.
Earl invited it, so.
That anger inside of Earl, whatever you call it, that.
Seething rage, much like Gene Hackman acting in a movie or something. Yeah. It's not a bad hit.
Yeah, but it's going to be a bad result.
Right. Earl, there you go, he said. It's like, it's just a gimme.
I think this shot he has to spin and then play the 4 or the 6 at the other end of the table. Bypass the 7 slightly. See if he can do that. He's gonna try to go to the rail.
Oh, he's just going to the.
I don't like this shot here because he can get behind the 7 too easily. I think it was quite fortunate to have ended up with that good of a shot on the 6.
Well, we won't bring that up to Earl. He's already frustrated enough about a couple of the other ones. Bustamante, nimble as could be. Kind of like a ballerina, his foot up behind his head as he shot that ball in.
Yeah, and he executed that shot very nice, ending up on the correct side of the 7 to drop nicely for the 8. I think he's going to have to hit this with a nice soft speed so he stays away from that 9.
Looks like he's checking it up a little inside off the end rail.
He's got to stay away from that
He-
9.
Oh.
That's what he was concerned about, staying away from that 9. I don't believe he missed it.
I don't either. Yeah.
He must not even looked at the 7.
Well, he loaded it up with inside spin, and it squirted a little more because he overcut it. So, but I don't know. Boosties, yeah, that's really his real. That was probably his worst shot of the match, right there.
But he wanted to stay away from that 9. That's why he used all
Right.
that inside because
Right.
he wanted to.
Check it up off the end
He
rail.
wanted to come off the rail and stay away from the back of the 9.
Nice shot there.
Now he's going to get
Nice
to the bottom
shot.
cushion here. He might not
Look
like
at
this.
he's pointing.
He might not like this.
Poor Earl. It's not really going his way, but he makes it worse too.
No, he has to hit this pretty good. He has to hit it with good speed because he's going to go 3 cushions around. He should end up straight in on the 9 here.
Yeah, great
the correct
shot. Great
speed.
shot.
That's a nicely executed shot.
You know, realistically, when Earl plays, we could just mic him up and he'd do all the commentary for you and tell you exactly how he's feeling, what's going on. You know what I mean? It would be very entertaining.
Another nicely executed shot. Cross table for the 10. Now, this is a type of a shot that skids often. You know what I mean? It's just this angle.
But the harder spheres that you described doesn't skid as often. So.
Yeah, right.
Great.
See?
Cyclop balls. Very good.
All right.
Okay, they don't pick up the dirt. And, hey, I'm glad to see Earl get that one. So Strickland 5, Bustamante 6.
And at one time it was 6-3, and Strickland needed that
Right.
10th game badly, and he not only got the 10th game, he got the 11th game as well.
Yeah, his
And,
TPA is higher than Bustamante's right now.
Yeah, the match now has really tightened up. There's only a 1-game difference, 6-5. Maybe we can go back and see that shot that you and I were arguing about, if we can. But I don't know if.
I really
Okay.
hope I'm
No,
wrong,
if-
Billy. I hope I'm wrong because your ego can't handle it. I'm okay
Oh,
with it.
okay. Okay.
I get a little preventative
okay.
maintenance in there. Okay, here we
Okay.
go. Second.
I think with left spin, he goes away from the 6. With
Right.
right spin,
I say he clips it on the way in unexpectedly.
well, he's supposed to click and
Okay,
hit
well,
it.
is it left spin now? Look it down the queue.
I don't know what he did there. I don't see that left English on that ball.
Okay. Well, then maybe no English.
Maybe.
We'll call it a draw.
Oh, thank you. You're so generous.
Yeah. Okay, Strickland on 1 foot here,
Or
breaking.
maybe he tried to miss the whole ball, but not get the kiss. I don't know.
Cut break. Had some English on there.
Nothing yet.
No.
Nothing yet. The 1 ball coming to rest to the right of the foot spot. Does he have a pocket?
I don't think so. If he does, it's only a part of a pocket.
He's taking a look at it now.
Yeah, he must have. It must be pretty close then.
It's a pretty small pocket. Not a very large one at all, if any.
No, it goes. He can go 2 cushions. Yeah, he had enough room. We just have a bad angle. He had plenty of room there. So
Okay,
that's
let's take a look a little further down the road. Let's take a look at the 6. The 7 blocks the pocket for the 6, but it's close enough to the pocket for him to play combination shape on
Yeah.
the 6-7. So in the 4, obviously, is in a good spot to hit for him to drop nicely for the 5. But still, from the 5 to the 6, that's where his problems are going to lie. From the 5 to the 6. You know, if he can end up on the foot spot for the 5, then he can go cross table and play position for the 6 in the opposite corner.
Boy, there'd be a long ways to go to get to the foot spot, though, off the 4.
But if he can end up with an angle on the 4 to drop on the foot spot,
Yeah.
that may be the right way to travel here. And it looks like he's got an angle maybe to do that. Let's see if he has the nerve to do that, because that shot takes nerve. If he can end up on the foot spot, he'll be ideal. No, he's not trying that. He's going to go for the combination position. He said, no, it's that route is fraught with pearl. That might end up in back of the 10
Right.
if I try something like that.
Yeah, that was a long way to travel with the wrong angle to get there.
Right. That's asking a little too much.
Yep.
He's going to go around the 9-10 here. I like the way he's done that. Puts him in pretty good line for the combination. Like I mentioned, the 7 ball was positioned closely enough to that corner pocket to minimize the difficulty of this shot. Oh my, he's allowed the 6 ball to slightly get away from him here, Mark.
Yeah, thin cut. And
yeah, very thin cut.
It's only he just missed it inside the pocket a little bit from where he was playing it. It could have stuck there, but if you just miss a millimeter or so, then it trickles away.
Very missable ball here. But not if he hit it that thin.
Pure.
Yeah,
Pure.
He certainly hit it thinly on the, and that's how he had to hit it to get rewarded with the shot.
This is tough.
You think?
Well, no. I mean, I think he can get out, but he may have to go 3 cushions, end rail, side rail, with a little bit of inside, and then just come back out where the cue ball's at now.
You mean he can't? No, he's going to go toward the 9. I can see now the angle that he has. Oh, this is dangerous here.
Yeah, maybe he's not going to play my shot anyway. He could go in the corner.
Well, he's going to go. He's going to be okay.
He's perfect.
I don't know if he played it like that. I think he played to go toward the 10.
I think we got to give him credit because they just find this mark too often. So we didn't see it. He's down on the table, but when you get perfect like that, I kind of give them credit for knowing what they're doing. And me, I give myself credit for not knowing what I'm doing. In the heart of the pocket.
Well, I'll tell you what.
Out.
The score says he knew what he was doing. 7-5 Bustamante.
Mm-hmm. Funny story. One time, Billy, I'm calling one of Earl's games. It's the final match, playing Sean Putnam. And he thinks it's a race to 9, which we'd played all week, but they had informed everybody on the microphone beforehand that the finals was a race to 11. So Earl's playing pretty good and everything. And he's mic'd up, and he gets down to the pressure game. And it had been 4 or 5 years since he won a major. And he gets down with 3 balls left, and you hear him in the microphone. And that's why I say you can mic him up. He goes, all the training. Come on, Earl. Don't overramp. And then he hits the 7 ball, and he's making all kinds of motions and stuff and chalking up. And I can see that he thinks he's going to win the tournament. I'm just watching. It's captivating. And he finally gets down, and it goes in. And he goes, I've done it. And he turns to go. He turns to go shake Putnam's hand, and Putnam looks at him like he can kill him,
Yeah.
And then he turns around and he palms up like 11. They didn't tell me. Oh, it was priceless.
That's funny.
It was priceless.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, good break there.
Well, the 2 ball's positioned at the other end of the table. He does have a cross-side bank on the 1. But coming up with a shot on the 2, maybe asking a little bit too much for him to go for it here. But he can do it, but it's not going to be. This is a type of a bank with position that's going to be outstanding if he's able to do it.
Remember earlier when he played bad position, he just went ahead and fired at this. But I don't think he's going to do it here. I don't think he's frustrated.
I think he's going to do it.
Oh, he's going 3. Okay, well, that'll be a beautiful shot. Yeah, you're right.
1, 2, 3.
Inside the 7 ball.
Another. And he took the same route that he did in the last time he had that particular shot.
In all honesty, how good are these guys banking? Earl's made 3 cross corners off angle. Bustamante made that shot a couple times. And this is a 5x10 with 4 and 5/16 pockets,
He's going to move to 3 here, which he's done nicely, because he really didn't have the angle to stick around for position for the 3, considering where the 4 is positioned. He had to stay down this end of the table. He didn't like his chances, so he figured, you know what, I'm going to move to 3, play position off of that to play position for the 4.
Absolutely remarkable. High performance, world-class pool. That's what we got going on here. Uh-oh. This could be trouble.
I didn't think he needed to do that because of the position of the 5. Well, no, of course, there I go again. I thought the 7 came after the 5, and now there's that teal-looking ball. The 6 comes after the 5. So therefore, him going into the 7 at that time was understandable. So, but he didn't get rewarded for it.
Okay, well, after that great bank shot, kind of disappointing to have to kick at the 4. Here's a good look at Bustamante's cue tip 3 inches from the cue ball prior to impacting it. Don't try that at home, folks.
Let's take a look at that bank shot once again. Cross-side, 3 to 4 cushions around the table with the cue ball. And he just hits that like it's automatic, you know? And you know what? It may be automatic for guys like him.
Yeah, well, I think he figures he's going to get a little bit safe if he misses it, so...
Another bank for you there, Mark.
Yeah.
Are you counting these? I know you're counting these banks.
Well, I mean, it's
What's
beautiful.
That, 9?
Oh, these guys. It's unreal.
Now the 6 ball is positioned on the other side of the table, and the angle that he's left himself with seems a little awkward. He's going to go toward the 7 with the cue ball. Very interesting shot here. So he had to hit it a little softer than he wanted to avoid contacting the 7.
Mm-hmm.
But he struck the ball so nicely. I like the way he hit that shot.
Yeah, good decision there, Earl. Good execution.
Yeah, nicely struck ball there as well.
Yeah, because it wasn't an easy shot, so some people would say, well, he didn't get a perfect position here. But that's the speed he needed to feel comfortable to pocket the ball. And the important thing is don't miss.
Yeah, right. You know, there are certain shots you shoot that you put more emphasis on pocketing the ball as opposed to playing better shape, because it's a fair trade-off, and these guys know what's a fair trade-off because they're at the table getting paid for it.
Well, Earl's got that super firepower. There's no sense having super firepower if you always have to rely on ideal position. You know,
Right, and you can use that as a luxury then.
Right.
Which he's going to have to use here. All right, this is not the easiest shot, but a shot that he should make. Let's see how pretty he hits it. Nicely struck, not a rail, beautifully struck ball. And this match now becomes a lot more interesting. Strickland trailing only now by 1 game mark, 7 games to 6.
You know that final 10 ball that he shoots shots harder than that, and this is how he practices. This is how maniacal he is. He'll make himself hit that shot 40 times. If it grazes the side cushion, he has to start over. No, really.
I believe you.
I mean, and that's why he's fearless when he shoots that. Where you and I, there's a little trepidation. I don't know, better use pocket speed or something. Nope.
And that just adds so much confidence to your game to know that you have mastered, and that in a sense, it's true, truly mastered certain shots.
Do you know the psychological aspect as we look on for Strickland the break? But when you train that hard, you expect to win, you've trained to win, you deserve to win, so you feel like you can win. If you haven't worked that hard, you think, I didn't really do as much as I could have, and there's a little psychological aspect there. You know?
Well, of course, and it's all making yourself comfortable at the table. And when you train that hard and your work ethic is as good as Strickland's or Bustamante's or Shane Van Boning's or Now's fine, you know.
Yeah.
And then you know when you're at the table, you're comfortable and you can do what you want to do.
Perfect examples there, Billy.
You know, these top players just don't play as well as they do because they have bad work ethics. You know, they train hard and it pays off for them. That's their job.
They respect the sport, is what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got to love them for it. They really treat it like a sport. Others treat it like a game.
Strickland at the table, trailing by only 1 game in the match, 7-6, but doesn't have a shot on the 1. So he's going to have to kick here, and it's going to be difficult to end up kicking and get away with it, considering how the balls are positioned.
Yeah, this is ugly here.
Yeah, he's going to have to get quite fortunate to walk away from the table in good shape here.
Not to belabor the point, but look at how hard he's working on this real tough kick, and the more routine kick he one-stroked earlier, you know, and he knows the ramifications of failure to hit this is bad.
He wasn't able to hit it. Let's see where the 6 ended up close to the side pocket. Let's take a look at where the 5 is. Either the 5 or the 6 makes the 6 much more
Playable.
yeah, accessible. It's just in the 4 to the 5, it's no problem. The 1 to the 2 to the 3 to the 4. The 3 to the 4 should be the answer to this rack, or one of the crucial points of the rack, from the 3 to the 4. He's going to have to get an inside angle. He's opting to play the 3 in the side. I don't know if I would have done that, because, say, he had a nice shot to play nice position for the 4 in the upper left-hand corner, staying on the inside of the 3. After pocketing the 3, he would have went right over cross table for the 4. He opted to play it in the side, and sometimes that can hurt you.
Well, here's the point that you alluded to, was that 3 to the 4, and he had to make a hell of a stroke to get that. That was a stun draw as opposed to the effective draw, and he did it beautifully.
He sure did, but he did have natural position from the 2 to stay on the inside of the 3, which would have taken him naturally to the 4. I would have played it that way. Buddy Hall would say, why play position when you have position? He didn't do that, but in spite of that, he was able to get out. It looks like he was going to get out anyways, because the whole rack was actually from the 3 to the 4. Everything else raised rather routinely here. Notice the 5 to the 6 to the 8 to the 9.
Right.
Very routine out here. Let's see how well he does. But all he's got to do is stay focused here and don't break that strong concentration that he's accustomed to playing with.
That's something that we don't talk about. The fatigue factor from the focus that this requires is where fitness comes in. It's more of the mental. It's not the physical exertion. You have to be fit for that. But to sustain the degree of intensity that it requires, that's where you bleed off energy.
Well, you certainly do. But you know what? If you really enjoy what you're doing, if you're totally prepared to do what you know you need to do, you don't burn that much energy, because you don't strain as much. You're not stressed as much. So therefore, practicing pays off dividends in a lot of different ways. Watch out.
Ooh.
Wow.
If he brushes that,
was
could
close.
be bad, yeah.
Had he just gotten a slight brush on the 10, he would have brushed the 10 in front of the 9. He didn't do that.
Earl recognized it with a
a
little hand flip.
What happened here? Why didn't he get unlucky? If it was me, meantime, it's going to be Bustamante by 2 games now, 8 games to 6, and we're getting to the later stages of the match, and it's
very nice.
It's more difficult to surmount those leads then.
Yeah, Boosty keeps the pressure on with this stellar play, because Strickland has played very well. Strickland's playing at an 850 clip, which equates to over 900 on 9-footer.
Right, but that's Boosty's job, Mark.
Well, I understand. He does it quite well and has for many years. He's in the HOF, in case you didn't know.
That's his job. Looks like Strickland's going to take a break here, and I guess we're going to take a break as well. Is that right?
Okay, we're back, everybody. What a match we got going on here.
Right.
Bustamante Strickland.
So glad you're back, Mark. It's nice having you here, really.
Thank you. I'm here every year, but I am glad to be back. There's no guarantee. I live every day to the fullest. I wake up every day. I'm a pool player. My goodness, how bad can it be?
Yeah. In the meantime, quite interesting match here. 8-6 in favor of Bustamante. But we've been entertained to a very, very exciting, interesting match here. And who knows what to expect from here on out. But up to this point, it's been pretty damn good.
Oh, yeah. And like Billy said, as Bustamante, we look on breaking. We're purists, so we appreciate the difficulty of how these guys make this table. They tear it up like it's a bar table or something.
He came up dry in the break. Now Strickland's going to walk to the table once again without a shot, and he's probably going to be... No, he's just going to push out without thinking. Go ahead, I'm going to push here. I didn't have a shot. Once again, woe
is me.
Now Bustamante looks at the shot. Let's see what he has available here. It's not the easiest safety in the world, so therefore, just with that in mind, you would have to think that it's a pretty good push.
Yeah, not bad.
So Bustamante is really undecided whether to pass the shot or take it himself. So once again, in that regard, you have to say, good push.
Yeah. Yeah, it's borderline either way. I couldn't fault him for taking it or giving it back. He's He elected to give it back, and he had Jay Helfer come out to inspect to see whether it was, or declare whether it was frozen or not.
So Strickland's going to have to come up with a pretty good shot here to a little double kiss there, frozen ball. You know, and when a ball is frozen and you have to hit it fairly thickly, there's always that possibility of getting that double kiss, and I'm sure that went through Bustamante's mind as well. Even if I hit this ball reasonably well, there's always that chance of getting that double kiss, and something like this might end up happening. Now Bustamante steps to the table with the ability to hit the one and stay in control of the table. It may go 2 cushions here. Does it have the speed? No. Where's the cue ball going to end up? Does Strickland have a shot? I don't know. It's pretty close. It is. It's pretty close. He may be able to see this ball.
Yep, he's down scrutinizing it, so it's pretty darn close. Billy.
He's taking another look at it. I think he can see this ball because it doesn't appear that his body language says that he can't.
I agree.
So therefore, he might be able to. He's going to twirl it a little bit. Okay, he's quite fortunate that the one ball found its way in between the 4 and the 8. Had it not, then Bustamante would have had a straight-in shot on the 1. So therefore, in that regard, Strickland was quite fortunate.
Well, yeah, no argument with that. I'm just saying the Bustamante might have been quite fortunate that he got where he had to half twirl it too. So,
well, I'm talking about Strickland the way he should feel. In other words, take a look at it like, hey, good things are starting to happen to me now. Give yourself a little adrenaline. Give yourself a little bump.
A little positivity. Yeah, that's right.
Get out of that negativism that you've been showing here, and maybe you can get back into this match.
Well, he is into it. I mean, he just can't.
This is a big game here. 8-6. He can't fall for any further behind. So therefore, if given the opportunity, prepare yourself to do well with it.
Good point.
Okay, he's going to end up with a shot, Strickland, that is. Now he's at the table with a shot. The balls are spread nicely over the table. He trails by the score of 8-6. This, again, is a game that he must win here. He's got himself a nice opportunity. He's falling short, Mark. He's falling short. He don't like it. I thought he was, shot that shot a little quickly.
He's going to have to rely a little bit on his shot making. But
he's going to have to go to the corner here.
He's very capable of shot making. But good shot there. Worked himself back into line.
Nicely controlled cue ball as well. Now the remainder of the rack looks routine here, Mark. 5 in the side, 6 in both corners, 6 in the one corner, 7 in the adjacent corner. 8 ball slightly underneath the foot spot. So that's the ball he'll have to play reasonable position on. And I think that the position of the 7 will allow him to do that easily. Just go cross table off the 7 for the 8. And he should get out this rack, and if he does, it's going to be an 8-7 ball game here.
Yeah, he's played very well. No question about it. This match for $4,000 or nothing.
Yeah, well, he wants a little more of an angle. I would have liked to have gotten a little more angle here. Something that played more natural.
He may drag it right down on the same side.
I don't like dragging it here.
I don't either, but
I don't like dragging it because the 10 ball is positioned to where it might be in his way if he doesn't drag it far enough down table. I like going across table all day long here.
If he's thinner. Well, he does too. Oh, well played. Good speed.
Nicely executed shot, and like Mark said, excellent speed. He'll go 2 cushions around the 9, or possibly 1 rail, whatever he feels most comfortable in doing here.
There's a 70-inch cue in play.
1 cushion. No, he went into the 9. He didn't want to do that. He wanted to go by the 9, but he went into the 9, but it really didn't cost him.
Right.
He's close to the 9. Looks like he has a nice angle, a nice shot on it.
Uh-oh, that doesn't count.
Nicely struck.
Scrub the rail.
Scrub the rail. Shoot it over.
Anyway, he'll count on the scoreboard.
Oh, yeah. 8-7.
Yeah, great. We love it. He just claws his way back in there.
It'd be wonderful if it got tied up at 8 games apiece, and we would really have a very interesting finish coming up, huh?
Yeah. Well, this has to be one of the best played matches of this tournament, but there's been a number of other ones that have been played at this clip as well.
Oh, I just watched that Reyes Niels Fine match, and what a spectacular performance Fine put on there. I mean, it was just absolutely beautiful the way he played.
Right.
I really like the way he's playing.
Efren played well. There was 2 safety errors that you don't normally see from Efren, only maybe once in the match or none. And then he did not break well, and that was really the entire difference of the whole match.
I don't know if I'm sure that Pat's going to have that particular match for available on the on his his DVD list.
Okay, Earl has now switched cues for the break. He's going to a shorter cue.
And I really don't want to know the reason why, because I probably wouldn't understand it anyways. I guess he can break them better or has more control with the shorter stick. Possibly. I don't know. I mean,
Flat-footed now.
oh my, well.
Oh, boy.
One off the table. That's something he couldn't really afford to have happen, but it did. He worked his way back to within 1 game of the lead, 8-7. Jumping the table is something he really didn't want to do. But notice all the congestion on the right side of the table. But fortunately for Bustamante, the 4-7 is lined up pretty good into the side pocket, that combination. So that'll help simplify that congestion over there. He's got to play a nice angle from the 2 to the 3 here.
Yeah, Bustamante can really hurt him here with this rack. Not just the game that puts him another game in front, but the psychological part of giving back that game right away without coming back to the table.
He's going to go 2 cushions for the position for the 3. Okay. He's fallen a little further down. No, or has he?
I think he's okay.
Oh, he's fine. Okay, here's the problem with this shot, Mark. Obviously, the 4-7 is very pocketable, but controlling the 4 may be the problem here with the 4-7 combination. Yeah, you can make the 7, you can see that, but you're going to have to hit it on the left side of the 4. And in doing that, you may have a problem controlling the 4. This is where it all lies, right here, controlling the 4 ball. And let's see how he handles this.
Yeah, this is the artistry of it right here.
Oh, he was able to push it straight to the pocket. No problem there.
Taking a look at possibly developing the 8 here by bumping the 9.
Which he's done.
Yeah, that's a nice
Opening
shot.
up the pocket.
That makes position so much easier.
Nice heads-up play and call. Mark, thank you. Now he'll come around table, 2 cushions toward the 8. Or even hit the 3rd cushion if he needs to. 1, 2, and then maybe the 3rd if he needed to.
It's kind of going to be in between.
Well, there's the 3rd, see?
Well, that's not what he needed to do. It was either for sure hit it or not hit
Right.
it. Now he's right in between. This got a lot trickier now.
Yeah, he's going to have to draw into the 9 and send it toward the upper right-hand corner, it looks like. The 9, that is.
It's a little bit of a distasteful back cut as well, and now controlling the 9 is tricky. Oh, boy, he made that look easy. Had to dig down a little bit, hit the high side of the 9, so he had to get a little draw arc off of the 8 ball.
Now he'll swing out of the upper left-hand corner with outside English, setting the cue ball 2 cushions down table, short of the pocket, because he doesn't want to scratch. 1, 2, but he's playing it long.
Perfect speed. Good job there, Bustamante. He got chopped through kind of a tricky rack. Puts himself on 9 games. Strickland trails 9-7.
Right. And, you know, Strickland has worked his way back into the match at 8-7, but he jumped off the table on his break. And that's something he hasn't done in quite some time.
No.
And he really couldn't afford to have done it in this match with the score 8-7, but he did. Now he trails 9-7. A lot of work now ahead of him trailing 9-7 in the race to 11, as opposed to possibly tying it up at 8 apiece.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Big difference here.
Yeah, and just any kind of a crack of light for Bustamante, and he just exploits it. That's, boy, that was a big error. All right, Bustamante. Look at the size of Boosty's hands. I'm always amazed by it. He reminds me of a puppy that has huge feet, and you can see it's going to be a big dog someday. There was the powerful Boosty break that I was talking about earlier.
Well, it doesn't look like he's going to come up with a ball here. And once again, Strickland steps to the table off of Boosty's break without a shot. He does have a safety play here, but I don't know how good of one it is. He can thin the 1 and send the cue ball down toward the 3-7, but there's no guarantee that's going to work out for him. And I think that's the only thing he has available. He would like to get behind the 7 here. He's got to hit it very thinly and get behind. Wow, he didn't even go anywhere near the 7, which was even better.
Yeah,
I thought that he had to go that angle, that direction, but I was wrong.
Yeah, he took no time whatsoever, so he was very confident about executing this, and he did so perfect.
I think you got to hit this with some speed here.
2 cushions.
I think so. I think you got a chance to do something with that 10. You know, I mean, what the heck? Hit it with some speed. Give yourself a chance to rat in the 10. If you can do that, I think that hit it with some speed. Maybe you can do something with that 10. He didn't do it. Once again, Strickland steps to the table without a shot. He's getting pretty upset with this. Look at him. He's probably saying to himself, why is this happening to me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, he has been on the short end of these, though, for this match, but it definitely can happen. Yeah. It definitely can happen that way. Yeah, this is still a very short run in terms of turning it around. And
is he going to try to position the cue ball behind the 7 here? Like this? No, he made that ball. I mean, he's really ill-fated to have done that.
Yeah.
You know, who figures you're going to make that ball? He positioned the cue ball pretty good behind or near the 7. He deserved a much better reward than what he's got here. That is.
And we can say that on multiple of the occasions too that he deserved better. But what it is. So play on.
Well, you know what? If he can hit the side of the ball like that, I think that he's going to get hooked here. But
poor Earl.
Never get no luck. So if I luck the 10 ball the other night.
he needs a brush off the 10 underneath the 9, but he's not going to get that. But he hasn't really left much of a shot.
No.
At least
right.
A shot that Bustamante can run the table with.
Right. Boosty has the upper hand, but anyway, he didn't sell out here. Oh, nice speed there.
Mm-hmm. Very nice control.
Now you look like a genius. I get all these barrel rolls and you look like a genius.
I don't know if that bothers Bustamante or not, but you know what? That would bother me.
Well,
it would. His antics, at the table would bother me.
Yeah.
It would, you know, and I'm wrong for feeling that way.
Well, you know, any of the Filipinos, they are cold-blooded killers, and they don't give a damn if you're a man, woman, or beast. You know, I mean, so
they're just going to take care of business, right?
Right. Yeah.
He's like, get lucky again.
Right.
Get lucky again.
They don't put ego in there. They just don't want you to quit. You know, I mean, they'll stay at it. So.
So Strickland can say what he wants to say. It's not going to bother Bustamante.
As long as you don't quit. Just don't quit playing me.
Yeah. Bustamante is just going to keep grinding on, and playing his game, no matter what Strickland says to him.
No.
Or about him. 10 ball. He's playing the 10 ball here.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
What a shot.
That'll put him on the hill.
What
And he played the cue ball, too. Look.
Golly.
Look.
Yes,
played the
I
cue
see.
ball, too.
Oh, gorgeous.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah. You really got to.
You really have to have a little bit of empathy for Earl, too. I mean, he has not been blessed with any good fortune. And against the likes of Bustamante, you cannot have bad luck and still, no matter how good you're playing.
Yeah, but he's gotten outplayed in this match. You know, I do understand that he's got the worst of the roles.
Okay.
But I think he got outplayed in the match. But not by much.
No, Boosty's playing great. Look at this combination. Well, how far apart are they? 18 inches from down table? I mean, this is... oh, absolutely. If we could see that combination again, it'd be delightful. Yeah, that's a foot apart, off angle. Look at that, have to thin it. Boosty. Yeah. Well, that puts him on the hill. This will be Bustamante's last break in the match.
What's the cue ball? Oh, he didn't scratch.
Oh, no.
You really feel bad for him.
do. I still love Earl.
2 and the 7 start up. He got no shot on the 1. He's trailing 7 games to 10. He needs an opportunity at the table where he can be productive, and he doesn't have it.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my!
You expressed it quite well.
What are we going to do now?
I think we're going to rattle the 10.
He's going to run the. He's going to roll the 10. Yeah, time to roll the balls, roll the bones here. We're not at the crap table here, are we?
Well, he might be going behind the 8.
Here we go. Roll the bones.
I think he's taking care of the
roll the bones here. Let's take a look. Roll the bones.
Okay.
He made a ball and he's hooked himself. Look at everything's happening here.
Oh no.
Okay, jump over the 7. Here we go. It's not funny, but it's.
It is funny, but not really.
It's not.
I mean, because you know how much this means to Earl. It's.
I said, you know what? I said he's going to scratch here. I said he's going to hit the 1 and follow through the 10 and scratch. I didn't call it, but that's what I was thinking, and that's what happened.
That's pretty ugly.
Balls are spread nicely now over the table. Bustamante has ball in hand. Wow, this is going to be. This is going to be easy for Bustamante with ball in hand, with the way the balls are positioned here. Yeah, I think it's just about over, Mark.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Boosty's on a huge momentum swing.
Well, I enjoyed the match. I'm sure you did, and the people at home possibly enjoyed it as well.
I think the most pivotal point was when Earl jumped the table. He got out the other cue. He hit down the ball. 1 hopped off, because that's what it was, 8-7 at that point, and just now things are just completely
right.
gone.
When he hopped the table after it was 8-7, that was the big shot of the match right there.
Yeah, and Bustamante capitalized. He went through the nice rack there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and nothing good happened to Earl for Earl after that.
right, and not much before that. But anyway, he did play well. Earl played well. Bustamante played better.
A little bit better.
Yeah, I wouldn't really say there was anything that you'd say, oh, you really made some mistakes. The worst thing he did was the 1 stroke on the kick that he didn't come close to, and that did hurt him 3 games.
Yeah, the 1 stroke on the kick, jumping the table in game number 16. Yeah, that hurt him.
And world-class pool comes down to 1 inning or 2 innings. You know, and there it is.
Yeah, because these players, they play so close, is that it only takes 1 or 2 mistakes at a crucial time to make the difference in the match. And that's what happened here. And like you said, that haphazard kick on the whatever ball that was.
Right.
And then all jumping the table in game 16 was the difference in this match. As you can see, the TPA 846 to 879, reasonably close. Bustamante now at 880.
Man, that's something else.
But back when it was 8-7, the TPA was quite close.
Mm-hmm.
And with a couple more strokes of the stick, this match will be concluded.
Yeah. Okay. Well, still, this has been a ton of fun, Billy. Really, I'm sure the people at home enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed the match, and I always enjoy doing a match with you. And
well, that's our time for this time. Until next time, so long.
I guess we're out of here.
At 3 o'clock